What's up, music junkies? Thank you for tuning in today. We have a very special guest with us, Lex Bratcher. Thank you for tuning in, or thank you for coming on the show. How are you doing? How's everything going for you?
Everything's going good. I can't complain, or I'm healthy, which is it's like a blessing to say that and during these times. So,
Yeah.
yeah, I'm doing all right.
Awesome, awesome. Yeah, health is the main focus on everyone's mind, like right now, especially with COVID and shit. But so my first question is how and when did it all get started for you? When did you discover you have the amazing ability of being an amazing lyricist and rapper?
Thanks. um, when did it start? So I started rapping when I was 9. That's when I first
Damn.
started to, yeah. I don't know what it was that made me want to start, but that was just the time that I was just like, yeah, I want to do it. And so at first it started just me writing, and then I had my mom's friend at the time. She or her friend was trying to like build a label.
Yeah.
So he would take me to the studio, and I worked on my very first EP when I was like 10 or 11.
Holy
And it was
shit.
5 songs. I still had the CD. I wrote my like email on it, and I was like passing it out to people.
That's what's
But
up.
that didn't go very far. And after that, I love music so much that I like when I was 11 or 12, I begged my mom to get it's called Mixcraft, which was like $50 at the time. And I would I took a rock band microphone,
Yeah,
and I
yeah.
plugged it in
It's
as like a
USB.
USB
Yeah,
mic.
yeah,
Yeah.
yeah.
And I would rap with the rock band microphone, and then I just started building my studio from there. So the next thing I got was a pop filter, and I would hold the pop filter in front of the mic.
Hold
And
it
then I
in
got a
right.
stand. Yeah. Then
Man,
I got a stand, and I could hook it. And then as time went on, I got to Logic, and then I got an interface, and I got a real mic and all that kind of stuff. And I kept going. Throughout high school, I kind of stopped and started because I just was,
It's high
a
school,
teenager.
Yeah,
Right.
you're
Yeah.
going through a bunch of high school shit.
Yeah, exactly. I'm
studies,
dealing with
drama,
like,
clicks,
I'm
all that
trying to,
shit.
right. And but then once I hit, I think I went to college for 2 years, and I was just like, you know what? There's one thing I just keep coming back to. Like, it's been 10 years, and for some reason I can't shake the fact that I just really love making music. And so I said, all right, and I said I'm going to take it seriously. So it's been about 2 years, 3 years now since I have taken it seriously. And yeah, that's really just like the story.
So
Okay,
you
so
you got started very young age,
Mhm.
and
Yeah.
how did you start writing when you were that young? Like, how did you even make beats or get beats, and how did you write that young?
Yeah. Yeah. So when I was that young, I think the one thing that I did was I had a journal, and I have like probably 5 or 6 journals that are all filled up since I was 9. But I have a journal, and I would just write like, okay, let me think of concepts. So like one of my songs is called My Imagination. And every verse starts off with my imagination is making it rain or something like that. And like my imagination, um, rapping about what I want to do as I grow in hip hop. And then I had another concept, and I was just like, okay, what? All right, my haters. So I wrote a song about haters. And then like I just would think about like I would think about concepts and write behind that and try to like create a story. Like when I was young, I always loved creative writing. It was like one of my favorite things in school and stuff like that. Beats and stuff, I would go on Mixcraft, and they had like loops, and I would
Okay.
put loops together, and I would build my own beats. And
God
so
damn.
I have some of the like I still have them all on my old YouTube. I don't know the my passwords and stuff to that old YouTube, so it will be forever up because I can't get in. So it's gonna be super embarrassing one day when people are like, "Oh, that was you when you were 10."
Yeah.
Um, but yeah, I used to try to build my own beats that way, and then I got to a point where I was just like, "Well, I want to do like covers," and that's where like my Friday fires started, or
Yeah.
the free verses that I do started to come out because I would use like already famous beats, and I would just rap my own raps over them and make it my song. Um, and then yeah, after that it turned into poetry. In high school I was writing poetry, and that way I kind of was able to go deeper. And instead of just making pointless songs, I was making more music about like my struggles, or my struggles with like love and relationships and stuff like that.
Hmm.
And yeah, that's kind of how that went about.
All right. So when you're writing your lyrics, where do you usually begin? Is it just like ideas from like stuff you have in the past, or is it like, okay, I'm gonna start with the hook, I'm gonna go with the intro or verses? Where do you go?
Usually it starts off with a hook. Um,
Hell
just
yeah.
because that's actually my weakest point, I think, is my hooks. Because I spent so much time when I was growing up trying to write like bars. I'm
Yeah.
super bar heavy. I like watching like KOTD and watching battles and stuff like that, and just
Rap
getting into
battles are the shit, man, I tell
yeah,
you.
right. And so from there, I was like, okay, I want to focus on making sure that I can have a song that has like replay value, and how I just have to focus on hooks, because that's where you get your
That's the catch. I mean,
that's the
called
catch,
it's
right?
called the hook for a reason. You know, it hooks
Exactly.
people in. Yeah.
Exactly. And so that's what I do first. In terms of concept, I write the hook, and then from the hook, whatever sounds like, oh, okay, I'm taking it in this direction, that's what the song's going to be about. You know what I mean? But it first just starts off by hearing the beat, thinking about a catchy hook, and then saying, all right, once I've written my hook, this is what the song is going to be about. And then just start writing the verse that way.
Okay.
Yeah.
So going back to you're talking about how you know do covers and stuff like that. So what's
Mhm.
poppin' was literally the fucking hardest cover I've ever heard.
Thank you.
It kind of blows the original over. Like, what?
Oh, man. I
Oh my
appreciate
god!
that.
And then
Yeah.
when you went, I'm gonna slow it down.
Mm-hmm.
Oh my god, dude! I was like, my jaw was like on the ground.
Oh, really?
Yeah,
So I've actually done that same concept with another song, but it didn't do as well. It's like, well, nobody really listened to it. Let me try it again.
yeah.
I did it with Logic has a song. I would think it was Keanu Reeves
Okay, okay,
is the
yeah.
name of the song. And so I did it with that one, but like I said, didn't get played. So I was just like, oh, I'll try it again. I sat there and wrote, I came to that beat, the What's Poppin' beat, about 7 times before I actually got myself to really sit down and write. I thought of multiple concepts before with the What's Poppin'. I was just like, I don't like this. I don't like how it started off. I don't like this. Okay, let me try again. Nope, I'm gonna come back to it. So like I know that song released like I think even like last year or like early this year, and I love that beat since I first heard it,
Yeah,
but I just couldn't get myself to come like to write to it. So months passed, and finally everyone else is doing it. I'm like, oh gosh, I gotta do it.
yeah,
So
yeah.
I put my phone aside, I sat there and I just was like, just write. And then I got in and I just was feeling it. I was like, okay, this sounds really good. Let me keep going. Let me keep going. And then I was like, let me do something different, right? Nobody has seen with this beat, no one's seen like a beat switch.
Yeah,
Okay,
yeah.
let me do a beat switch on them. Boom, slow the beat down a
Slowed
little
it down.
bit.
Yeah.
Yeah, and that was it. Yeah.
So how long did it take you from beginning to end to finish that song?
To finish that song, as far as like when I really sat down to write it, it probably took me about 5 hours.
God
Damn.
damn.
Um,
All one day.
Like
No,
all in one
one day.
session?
yeah, all in one
Holy
session.
shit. I mean, you're a fast rapper, so there's like so many fucking words in that song. I cannot
Oh yeah.
even comprehend how how could
I
someone
know
sit there
people are
one
always
day.
like, it's crazy because for me, fast rapping is easy. It's so easy to put more words in it. Like when I listen to music that's on the radio, and I like the music that's on the radio. I'm jealous because I don't know how to not put that many words. Like I don't know how to make a simple song that has minimal words and still is like hard hitting.
Yeah, yeah.
That's hard to do for me. So like when people are like, oh, like it's so intricate when you're going in and you're doing all this, I'm like, sometimes I wish I could just not. Like I
Well,
wish I could just
your
do it.
power is in words.
Yeah, true,
that's like your superpower is like with the words. That's why you
true.
have to lay a lot of words down so you can get
Right.
your message across,
Yep.
Yeah, I get that though. I see like these other rappers they literally just say like 3 or 4 words like every few bars, and I'm like, oh my god,
Mhm.
how could someone get their message out with
Right.
with that little.
I know. Yeah, it's crazy, but we all have our own thing, and I think that's something that I had struggled with for a really long time, and still kind of struggle with, is just realizing that, like, I am not anyone else, and I'm
Yeah.
not going to write music like anyone else. My music's not going to sound like what's on the radio, or sound what's whatever, and that's both a good thing and a bad thing, because maybe I will never make it in that specific area where everyone else is.
Mhm.
But it's also great because then I don't ever have to worry about, like, staying with the trends, because I was never with the trends to begin with.
Yeah.
I am my own artist, and I stay in my own lane. And either people like it, and it's a good niche or niche, or it's not. But either way, it's me.
Yeah.
And so, like I said, that's something that I have struggled with, to just kind of really, like, understand and comprehend, and like, really agree with, I guess. But yeah, that's what it is.
I think the power is in when is what works for you and what sets you
Mm,
apart from everyone else. And you got 6,380 monthly listeners, and I guess your most played song is what is it, Headhunting, or the
yeah,
remix? That one's dope, dude. For real.
thank you, thank you. Yeah, I did that
All
for
of
a
them are dope, but
video.
I mean,
Yeah, that
but I
was like
think
a contest thing that I did with this big YouTube channel called Jubilee.
mhm.
Um, so we had 2 hours, me and this producer, to come up with a song with the theme of death. And so, yeah, that one was super interesting. We originally just wrote the first verse, and then we went back and we wrote a full song with it. And yeah, it's doing really great. And I love that, because that was like that was just on the fly thinking. Like, it wasn't too intricate, it wasn't too detailed. It was just on the fly thinking. And so I love that. It feels really good as an artist to know that that's one of your best songs, was something that you wrote in less than 2 hours.
Can
Yeah,
you
and
freestyle?
for a 3 minute song, it sounds like it has all the elements in there that should and need to be in
Yeah.
a good song to make it sound good. It doesn't sound
Yeah,
too short, because there are a lot of 3 minute songs out there that's just like, damn, we need more. But this
Yeah.
one's
right.
like, okay, this one.
Perfect. Yeah. What the one thing that I will say is that I do think that, yes, I had great lyrics, but I also think that the production was what really tied it all together. Like, Simon Servita, he was the producer. Um, I want to work with him again. He's a busy guy, but I think that his production was really also what, like, just made it top notch and made it so great. So
So
it's
Okay.
always like 50% artist, 50%, well, I think even more percent producer.
So what would you say is the best experience that you've had inside of the studio?
Inside of the studio. Ooh, that's a
Yeah.
great question. Um, mm, I
Stumped ya.
honestly,
Ha! That's what we
yeah,
do.
that's a good one. I guess that I will say my best experience is also my most stressful experience, which was rapping the my verse for Tech Nine, or the Tech Nine verse that I did on question mark this, because I was in the studio by myself, hitting recording in this hot ass booth, and, like, struggling, trying to make sure that I'm enunciating every word, making sure that I am, my cadences sound good, making sure that I am putting emphasis into this word and that word. And I sat in that studio, in the booth, for about 2.5 hours and worked on that one verse. And that was my most stressful, but it was my most, like, powerful
Mhm.
moment in the studio, because I really liked the way that that verse turned out, and it showed me that if I just put a little bit more energy and effort into how I'm recording it, I will really like the music that I come up with. So that was kind of my overarching, like, that was the best experience, I would say,
Heck
as
yeah.
an artist. Yeah.
That's badass. So
Mm,
can you freestyle?
no.
Someone throws
Yes.
you
No.
yes and
Yeah.
no.
We won't make you
Can
do it if you say yes.
No,
We
I
promise.
mean
Oh, okay. So yes, I can freestyle. I don't like freestyling when I'm, like, in front of an audience. I would tend to, like, freestyle with my friends, like, if we're in a little, and I come up, I got bars when I'm going with my friends, but once there's an audience or something, it's like, it's really hard,
yeah.
because then I'm thinking too much about what they're thinking about my bars, and then I'm not really focusing on the next word, or, like, thinking ahead. It's not fun. But when I'm just hanging out with my friends and we're,
Driving
we're smoking
around or
weed or
something,
something.
and
Yeah,
the beat comes
exactly.
on.
Like,
Yeah.
exactly. Hot box in the whip, put the beat on. And
So how
that's
old are
it.
you now, if you mind I ask?
I'm 22.
Oh, you're
22.
young. You're
Yeah.
young. You still
Damn.
got
Okay.
so much time.
I
You have so
know.
much fucking content. Like you go on
Thank
YouTube, there's
you.
so much stuff. There's a lot of songs, covers, and stuff. So I think you're doing everything right. What would you say is like the hardest part of marketing yourself?
Man, that I think that for like my image is difficult to pass off because people are not used to, number one, obviously you have the stigma of being a woman and a female rapper in the
Oh yeah, yeah.
industry. And so automatically it's, oh, she's another female rapper. Then you have this idea of you don't have any black female lyrical miracle rappers. And so that's another thing that's different. Like, here's something that I've noticed is that my fan base is largely like teenage white boys. Like, it's the craziest thing because you
Them
wouldn't think
gringos.
that, right? No. um and but it's difficult to get someone to look at me and say, oh, you know what, I want to give her a chance. And the other thing is 100%, well, I think it's all really my fault. But I don't put up enough music. Like, I do a lot of free verses, and so people are fans of my free verses, but I don't put a lot of music out,
Kind
and
of hard
that's
to
where I'm
transition from your free verse to your music. Yeah.
exactly,
Yeah.
because it's like that's why there's so many really great uh um like battle rappers, but then when it comes to actually making songs, they're not great at it.
Yeah. Yeah.
Like, and that's what I'm trying to differentiate myself from. That's where I'm trying to like take a left or take a right from. Um, is being able to come out as not only a bar hitter, but also someone who can make a song that will have replay value. And
Okay.
that's where I think that I struggle with. And because of that, I don't put out enough music. And then people listen to the free verses and they're like, oh, I want to check her out. Oh, she only has 5 songs.
And
You know what I mean?
and
So
then you were talking about being a female rapper. You kind of hit a little bit on that on the map, the song with Crypt X.
yeah,
You kind of talk a little bit about that, how people look at you and they don't expect you to be a rapper.
yeah,
And when you hear someone say, "Oh, she's a female rapper," everyone expects fucking like a Nicki Minaj or Cardi B shaking her
right,
ass, to music.
Good thing you're not like them. I can tell you that much. Because I mean,
I mean, I'm not saying that they're bad for doing that. I mean, if
mm-hmm.
they want to do what they want to do, it's great, But like,
Mm-hmm.
I the stereotype is like you hear female rapper, that's what you think of automatically.
Right,
It's
right,
stereotypical female rapper. That's not how it should be.
exactly,
There's Lex. She's
right,
she's her own person. Doesn't have to do all this to
exactly.
grow.
And I always have this conversation whenever it is brought up. It's like I have absolutely like no um no hard feelings towards like women rappers, especially the women who are just rapping about their vaginas and rapping about sex because that's what they relate to and that's what they want to talk about, and there's nothing wrong with that. I think that rap and hip hop is was created from the jump as freedom of expression.
Yep.
And if that's how like most like rap is male dominated because men talk about like stuff that they experience, right? And so when you have women, they're talking about now things that they experience when they're talking about their sexual freedoms and all that kind of stuff. There are other women who are starting to say, well, yeah, I relate to that. And that's why female rap is starting to kind of rise.
Yep.
And that's what, once again, it makes it a little bit more difficult for me because then I'm like, well, I don't necessarily relate to a lot of the things that women are rapping about. But then men might not relate to me because I am a woman rapping about my experiences. But I think that there are men who have been able to find like the commons basically, and or the common ground between us, me being a woman, you being a man, but the things that we experience are a lot of the times the same,
Yeah.
especially when it comes to things like mental health or when it comes to like body image or whatever that may be. Like men also struggle with those issues too. But then also I grew up on Eminem, and bar stuff. So they relate to the fact that they're like, oh, I just really love heavy bar stuff. Me too. So that's what we relate, you know. But yeah, so I love I love that females are becoming more expressive and they're getting their play. But yeah, it is difficult to come in as a female rapper who doesn't do that.
So you talked about you grew up on Eminem. What other kind of inspirations did you have growing up?
Oh man, so Eminem, I grew up on him as far as like the storytelling aspect. I think that he was really great at it. Like one of my favorite songs is 97 Bonnie and Clyde
Okay,
or
yeah.
Kim. Yep. Both of those great. Um, but Tech, obviously Tech Nine. I didn't listen to him a lot growing up. I tended to listen to him more when I was starting to really study bars, which was like when I was 13, 14. And then my biggest inspiration as far as like lyrical rapping is Hobson, for
Oh
sure.
man, yeah.
Yes.
Yeah. I found him, I think, when I was 12, and it was right when he was dropping Raw.
Hmm.
And I think the best part was that I feel like we watched his come up. Like he brought us along on that journey, and that was so inspirational because like I remember watching like I would see like Illmind Hobson, like the
Illmind of
first and the
Hobson, yeah.
second one. Yeah, so we had a couple, and then like there's Illmind Hobson 3 or Illmind Hobson, yeah, it was Illmind Hobson 3, I think, where it's him, and it's not him rapping, it's him going to like Target and getting a cart and then like sawing it and creating a camera stand so that he could have like a camera stand while like on wheels and he could have like a steady shot.
Yeah.
And like that to me was amazing to watch because it was like this is him taking his creativity not just as a rapper and a producer and putting that also into like
His
um
ingenuity.
exactly. And this is how he's coming up as a rapper. These are the reasons because he's so dedicated and he inspired me in multiple ways
Yeah.
with music, with ingenuity, like you said, with yeah, just all of that kind of stuff. And so that's my top
Like
probably.
Illmind of Hobson 5, you could hear it. Like that's one of my favorite Hobson songs. Illmind of
Yeah.
Hobson 5, where he's is talking about certain types of people, three types of people, which is like the fuck boys, the thugs, and then
Yep.
the
The women
the
who
women.
are
Yeah. So
yeah.
he's kind of like rapping about that, but you hear in his voice that you could tell it's recorded in like a living room or even a closet, and then you hear like COVID Mansion that he came out, or
Yeah.
the Illmind Hobson 9. You could tell it's
Hmm.
like so professionally recorded. You
Right.
you you see his growth.
You see the growth.
Yeah, you see the growth, and I
Absolutely.
think he's one of the best lyricists, and I've said this before,
Hmm.
of this time right now. And he kind of took a little break. It seemed like he was gonna
Yeah.
like just stop making music, and
Hmm.
then I someone said his name. I think Eminem actually gave him a shout out.
Oh, really?
Eminem gave him a shout out, and that I think that's when he started making music again.
Okay, I didn't know
Uh,
that. Yeah, see, I lost him a little bit when I was in high school. I don't know what it was. I think maybe I wanted to do a little bit more mainstream rap too. Like I wanted to, cause I ultimately like I want to make it a career.
yeah,
And of course, you can be underground your whole life and be like Hobson, but Hobson he is an anomaly, just like Tech is, just like like all these underground artists, futuristic, they're all anomalies. And so I was like, like I want to kind of try to lean to go mainstream. That way, like I can, make some money from it. And so I kind of moved away from Hobson in high school and tried to study other rappers and all that kind of stuff, like Big Sean or like, um, people in that realm
well,
that
even
are
Big
still
Sean.
bar heavy. Yeah, it's bar
Old
heavy,
Big
but
Sean, old Big Sean is a very bar heavy. Like
right,
back in his initial mixtapes,
right,
like Wiz Khalifa back in his original mixtape,
exactly. Yep.
OJ and Kush.
Mhm.
Those amazing
Yep.
mixtapes. Those are very bar heavy, and now it's of course they went mainstream.
Right.
They talk about
But
mainstream shit.
exactly now, and it's for their original fans. It's like, oh, that kind of sucks. But at the same time, it's like they're now household names.
Yeah,
You know what I mean? And so it's like I want to kind of find a common ground where I can people know me as, oh, she's one of the best female rappers, but also had that very like, not, I won't say small, but very like niche fan base that will be my fans and be in the stands until they're in their 50s. You know what I mean?
Regardless on if you make mainstream music or not.
Yeah,
Yeah.
exactly.
That makes
Okay.
sense.
So we talked about some of your inspirations. So let me pick your brain a little further. What three artists would you like to collaborate with if you could right now?
Right now, off the top of my head, Joyner Lucas, Token, and then I have to think about the. Oh, I think I would say Rico Nasty.
Okay.
Okay.
Yeah,
Nice.
What
I
yeah.
like Joyner stuff too. He has a lot of really deep emotional things, and I think that's what draws me most to it because
Mhm.
me as a person that feels a lot, both on both
every
sides of the
song.
spectrum.
Yeah,
Every
Every
song,
song
dude,
makes you
it's like,
fucking feel.
yeah,
Even his new Snitch fucking that makes you feel like what the fuck am I gonna do?
yeah.
What
He's
would you do if you
super
were in his shoes?
talented.
You know?
Right. Well, hopefully I won't ever have to be in those shoes, but
Yeah.
no,
um,
hopefully you never have to write something like that because if you're feeling shit like that, bro, I'm sorry. That hurt.
yeah.
I, I
Did you
think
ever
music
see
like
when he
that
made that
also
song
creates
Will?
a place of healing for everyone too. You know, if they're
Um.
going through similar shit, it lets them know I'm not alone in this world, you know?
Mhm.
So big
Absolutely.
ups
Yeah.
to them.
That's absolutely. I think that Joyner is super talented in the way that he creates um, stories behind his music too,
Mm.
because obviously he obviously like he's a good rapper. We know this,
Yeah.
and so he takes that and he says, I don't have to prove anymore that I'm a good rapper. I'm gonna just use that good rap and come up with stories that are gonna make people really want to listen and say, okay, okay, what's next in this story? What's gonna come out after that? You know what I mean?
Mm.
And then I know, Mara, you said, had I seen the Will process?
Yeah.
Um, I I seen the video and I did see the or I heard the song, but I didn't watch the like behind the scenes or anything like that. I know he did post a behind the scenes video. I just don't think I ever got around to it. But yeah, once again, super talented, a story that like, and also just I think also really great marketing. Like it was a great idea to make a song about Will. Like especially because Will is also he's now really big. He's doing really well with social media and all that kind of stuff. He kind of knew like he would post it or get involved in some way,
And
and
then promote
he's
his name.
super
His name
smart.
would go everywhere.
Exactly,
Every person that follows
exactly.
Will Smith will
Yep,
will now know about Joyner. Yeah, it's
exactly.
smart.
Yep, him and his whole team and his director too, videographer, all of them, super duper talented.
You know what's funny? We talk about stories and creating stories as a rapper. Look at Ice Cube. You know, Ice
Hmm.
Cube is an amazing lyricist. He was an amazing
Yeah,
rapper back in his prime. I don't think he's making any music anymore, but he was an amazing rapper. But then he went to writing movies.
yeah,
Like it's crazy
Interesting.
because he
that's
wrote Friday. Friday was all him. It was
all him.
written and produced by Ice Cube.
Yep.
So you could see like the brain how his mind kind of thinks and processes everything because you could be an amazing lyricist but you could also have other talents like you said you write poetry, you know
Hmm.
stuff like that.
Right. And then like with Hobson, like I said, that it's that ingenuity. It's that taking your writer's brain and making it or and putting it and using it in different aspects of life to propel you forward, you know?
Yeah.
It's taking the writing and then also putting that into engineering or writing and putting that into directing, producing, writing, screenplays, writing, um, movies and stuff like that. So yeah, all of that is something that I hope to do as I move forward. I think that right now I'm just so stuck in my like I'm still stuck trying to figure out whether or not I should keep pursuing the music stuff. Um I know you guys were like, "Oh, you're so young," but to me I'm like, I'm getting older. Like I think I'm going to have to like figure this out at some point if this is really what I want to do. Because yeah, I'm 22, but I don't want to be, I don't want to lose too much time
Yeah.
if
get
music
to
isn't
get
the
to
next
like
thing.
30 and not be able to do anything anymore in the music
Yeah,
industry, but what are you going to
exactly.
do now? Yeah. Yeah,
Exactly.
it makes
Yeah.
sense.
So, yeah.
So what's like the longest that you've actually spent writing one song? Or do you just move past it when you get that block? Or what do you do to
Um,
overcome that mental block?
yeah, it's super hard. I've been actually having a lot of mental blocks lately. I think just with like the stress of moving to Phoenix and a bunch of other things. What I do is I just you really have to go by force. Like it has to be force. I have to force myself to sit and just write, put my phone away. What I'll try to do is like the week leading up to I mark out one day,
Mhm.
and a couple of days before leading up to it, I try to like not watch too much TV or not like I try to just allow my brain to think because I feel like um entertainment, social media, all those kind of things, those are actually,
Influences you too much,
yeah,
you know.
they
It's like,
influence and they also take away from your creativity because what happens is you might see something on on TikTok and it was only a 30-second clip and then I'll say 3 4 days later you come up with an idea and you don't even realize that you were influenced by that 30-second clip you saw 3 days ago, you know. And so it just I feel like what I try to do is remove myself from those entertainments, those distractors, and just the day of like I don't watch any TV, I don't go on any type of like Twitter or Instagram or anything like that, and I just sit down and I write and I go for it. And I tend to that's when my best bars come out. I don't know what it is. The longest I'd say I've written or focused on like one song probably would be 8 hours. Uh,
And damn,
yeah.
I've been like 3 months to write one song.
damn.
Really? Yeah, 8 hours to write once. Like I'm talking about in one sitting. As far as like writing one song, I still have songs that I had not completed that I've been working on for 2 years because
Nice.
I I told myself that like I want to continue writing this as I have more experience, and I also like I'm not ready to record them and put them out because I have like specific ideas in mind about how I want to do it, and I don't have the tools right now to do it the way I want to. So like I have songs that I haven't even finished that I've been sitting on for years, but then
Mhm.
like in one sitting 8 hours is probably the longest I've written.
Okay.
I think it's always good to go back and revisit those older ones. There's songs that I've written in the past, back when I was in a band with Mario and them, and I'm like, dude, I would have done so many things differently. I would have
Right.
played it this way. I would have sang it
Yep.
that way. You know, like
Literally.
Yeah.
it can take a long time to write a
And,
song, and I think that's what makes it when you make it with intention.
Right.
and you
Right.
grow as a person, so
Mhm.
things change, and you could change a certain way that song's gonna sound, or certain lyrics that you wanted to talk about,
Mhm.
with your current state of mind. So it's
Yep.
it's always helpful. So talking about kind of current state of mind and stuff.
Yeah.
Blessed is an amazing fucking song, and I'm gonna be a little
Thank you.
vulnerable. It kind of hit me because I've struggled with a lot of the issues that you talk about.
Yeah.
So how did you come up with that, and how did that come to be?
Um. Yeah. I don't know. I think so I made the beat as well. I heard
Okay.
a
Nice.
sample and I was just like, I love this. I love the beat that or I heard the beat originally online. And I heard the sample, but I didn't like the way that the beat was like the way that they
Constructed.
had done
Yeah.
it. So I just took the sample and I went and I was like, okay, I'm gonna do this my way. And when I was thinking about it, I thought about it in terms of how do I want to finish or start this my EP. And I was like, okay, I want to give them a song that's a little bit more, like it's yeah, it's more hard, from the heart. And so the first thing I wanted to start off by saying was like I know that I am blessed in the sense of like all of the things that that has happened to me, I'm lucky to have had. But these are some of the things that I really want to share with people because I'm sure that there are people who might, feel that they relate to.
Yeah.
And yeah, I literally when I write songs like that, I kind of it's like I black out. Like I don't know what my writing process was. It just was like, this is what I want to write right now, and I just kind of close my eyes and let my hand go. You know, and I don't think of it in terms of are people gonna like this song? Are people gonna
Right
want to
from the
do this song?
heart.
It's just like yeah, it's just like this is what I'm feeling right now, and this is what they're gonna get. And
Yeah.
so that was I didn't really have like too much of like a process. Like I didn't think like oh what's gonna make people like relate to me. It was just like nope, this is it. Like relate to it or not,
Yeah.
love this song or not, it doesn't matter because this is what's coming out.
That's amazing. That's my all-time favorite song, by the way.
Really?
Yeah, I love it. I love it.
Oh, that's
I was in my feels listening to it. I was like, yeah, okay, all right, I get it.
thank you. Yeah,
So,
that's
what's your
awesome.
ultimate goal as as a artist?
As
You
an
know,
artist, I
you're
want to,
talking about being 22 and kind of figuring everything out. What do you ultimately like? Where do you want to go?
man, like the back of my head is like I want to like be like the female Drake, but
Okay.
the realistic me is like you're not the female anyone.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? Like I'm not the female tech, I'm not the female am, I'm not the female anyone. I'm me. And realistically, I want to be able to like headline my own tour, like my own world tour. That's a huge goal of mine. I want to be able to completely sustain myself off of music, and also with that, bring up artists underneath me and kind of create my own like little like
Empire.
niche, yeah, my own little empire. Um, and those are like I as far as goals, I want to be able to buy a house with the money that I made from my music. I want to be able to invest into other people and other businesses with the money that I make from my music. I want to be able to, yeah, like you said, exactly, build an empire. That's what I want. That's my goal. I want to have, you know, songs that go platinum. I want to have songs that go gold. I want to have, songs that hit over 100 million views on YouTube. Like
Yeah.
ultimately, those are my big dream goals.
I
Okay.
think you'll get there, man. You just got to keep at it,
Thank
like you
you.
said. Just
Yeah.
don't burn yourself out, please. I want to see you get to the top, and I'm sure
Man,
Mario does too, and all of our viewers and listeners do as well. So
that means a lot. Really, it really does. Because sometimes I always feel like I'm the only person who's like thinks that I can get there, and so sometimes it's really nice to hear other people say, "Yeah, I think you can get there too." So I appreciate
it's
that.
hard, man. You know, it sucks when you're looking at only your side of the beach ball. You know, you only got
Yeah.
those three colors, but on the other side, there's three other colors that you just
Yeah.
can't see. So it's got to be
Absolutely.
a little humble for yourself. But
Yeah.
I think you're doing
Definitely.
fantastic.
Yeah. Yeah. So
What else?
shout out to King Blitz because he's the one that told me, listen to Lex. Lex is
Yeah.
amazing. So I heard your music and I was like, oh my god, I gotta get her on the show.
Yeah.
She's fucking amazing. So yeah, like Jake said, we want to see you succeed. We want to see you build your own empire, and
Thank you.
hopefully one day in a few years, you come back on the show with your empire, with your
Oh
new
yeah.
mansion,
Oh yeah.
Ferrari in the back and everything.
Woo.
So, all right. So,
Yeah.
what are you working on now? Are you working on
Right
anything
now,
as far as music?
music.
Yeah,
Yes, I have two EPs in the works that I'm actually gonna kind of drop like
two.
Future Hendrix style,
Ooh.
Nice.
where he did uh, one would be dropping this month, probably later in the end of the month, and then the second one will be on my birthday, which is January 17th. The
You're
first
a
one,
Capricorn too.
yep, let's
Yes.
go, hard workers.
Oh,
Oh, I love it. What's your birthday?
the 14th.
Okay, very nice. Yeah, you're January Capricorn too. See, we're the best.
I don't know about the best. Some
You know,
Leos are the
we are.
best, but
Oh, come on.
Uh,
you know,
2-1, bro. You really want to? No, I'm just-
no, but so the first EP I'm dropping is gonna be all like hard hitting songs where it's just like super bar heavy, super just like what people know me for.
yeah.
And my second one is gonna be strictly like from the heart songs, a
Oh,
hundred
okay.
percent. Because I'm dropping it on my birthday. It's gonna be called My House or My Home. I haven't really figured it out. And basically the concept is like something that I've learned from moving across the country and moving everywhere is that uh, you take yourself with you, and wherever you are is your home. And so it's me talking about different aspects of my life, and but yeah, that's so it's basically my home because I am writing from, yeah, my home. Keep saying that, but yes. So that's one I'm actually way more excited about, just because I have already like there's two or three songs on that EP that I listen to every day because I'm like,
Damn.
I love this song. I would love it if I heard another artist like wrap this. So I'm super excited about dropping the second EP. The first one I got to get a little bit more into my zone with, but I think ultimately people are going to get to hear two sides of the same coin, and I think that people will appreciate that.
They'll get to know you. You're both, both your
Right.
great sides.
Yeah.
Any great collaborations? Any
Any
on
good
either?
collabs? I've done a couple features for people. I feel so bad because I just been so busy that I haven't really been able to do a whole bunch of collabs with people. But I don't have any big collabs on my album or on my EPs. Um, I would love to get some, but I feel like I want to have bodies of work that don't have other people on it, because I don't want to have to
Rely,
require, right, or
rely.
rely
Yeah,
on other artists to be on my album to make it. I want to just be able to do that on my own.
yeah, yeah.
You know?
That
Self-made
makes sense.
woman. Exactly.
Yeah.
Yep.
So, yeah.
Awesome. Well, that's all I have. Jake, do you have any more questions?
No, I think I'm good to go. But Lex, if you have anything you'd like to tell your viewers or our viewers, now's your time. Spotlight's on you.
Oh man. Well, I just want to say thank you guys for having me. I appreciate it. I look forward to seeing this, and make sure that I check out all the rest of you guys' stuff.
Yeah.
For every other viewers watching, my name is Lex Bratcher. You can follow me on social media, LEXBRATCHER. And yeah, that's really about it. Thank you guys.
Awesome. Thank
Thank
you
you,
for coming
Lex.
on the show again.
Of course.
All right, music junkies. That was Lex Bratcher. Like we said, she has over 6,000 monthly listeners on her Spotify account. Definitely go check out her on social media. She's an amazing lyricist. She's super from the heart, so I appreciate her music. Mario does, and I'm pretty sure you guys would as well.
Yeah.
We're very thankful to have her a part of our new family. So, like we said, check her out. You'll enjoy it. You won't regret it. Mario, you got anything for our listeners?
We do have a rock band coming on the show next. They actually reached out to us. Uh, so I don't want to spoil it and say who it is yet. You'll see it on Wednesday. I'm releasing the flyer out. They'll be on the show next. Great band. They have great music, and they're blowing up right now, like slowly but surely, like everything else in the world. COVID has hit us once again.
Second wave.
Yep, San Diego's on purple tier, which is like almost full lockdown. It's really close to full lockdown. We have, fucking curfew and shit, but pushing along, chugging along, hoping for the best, and we'll continue to make music junkies as long as we can.
We're gonna continue regardless, because that's just our passion.
Shit, it's virtual too, so it's not like we're exposed
And
to
social
anyone.
distancing, I don't think you can get any more distant than this.
Yeah, we're what, fucking 400 miles away. No, we're like 200 miles away.
I could probably get to you in 5 hours if I drove
No,
10 miles over the limit.
you're an hour from El Centro. It takes me 2 hours to get to El Centro, so it's 3 hours altogether.
My math was wrong.
I'm very wrong, but that's besides the point. Anyways, we love you, music junkies. Please follow us on all social media. Subscribe to our YouTube channel. Like us on Instagram, Facebook. We're on Spotify, iHeartRadio now. iHeartRadio officially.
I didn't even know about that.
Yeah, we're on iHeartRadio. Buy our merch. Anything helps support us. Keep doing what we're doing. Yeah, stay safe. We love you.
Take it easy, music junkies.